midfield also, but Hearts coming out for the new season with renewed hope and optimism. So a tremendous welcome for the Celtic team as they take the field. Beautiful playing surface at Tynecastle and conditions absolutely ideal for the opening of the new season. There's no Tosh McKinley or John Robertson in that Hearts team, but John Cahoon is fit and he plays up front, and that's a powerful mixture of youth and experience, with a likely midfield trio of Gary Mackay, Neil Berry and Eamon Bannon. And the Yugoslav Huzrev Muzovic is the new striking hope up front. £200,000 from Red Star Belgrade. He's 28 years old, so he has lots of top-class experience. And young Davy Kirkwood too makes his competitive debut. 21-year-old, cost £100,000 from Rangers. He's wearing number 3, but he can play at the back or in midfield. And Celtic leave out Anton Rogan from their starting lineup, so that Tommy Burns is at left back to use his experience behind young Steve Fulton on the left side of midfield. Andy Walker joins Rogan on the bench. Now the first look at Jackie Dziekanowsk, who's already endeared himself to the Celtic fans. He cost £600,000 from Legia Warsaw. He has 51 caps, a new character undoubtedly for the Scottish game. And Mike Galloway ironically plays his first competitive match for Celtic against his former club Hearts, who received £500,000 for the 24-year-old in the close season. And he's already had quite a reception from the Hearts fans. And the referee this afternoon, Mr. Douglas Hope from Erskine, one of our top referees, his first year on the FIFA list. There's always a special tingle on the first day of a new season, and there's no difference here at Tynecastle this afternoon. Tremendous atmosphere generated by this capacity crowd. And there was Muzovic going heavily into Roy Aitken in the first major challenge of the match. Aitken playing at centre-back alongside Derek White in the opening stages. Alan McLaren, the young Hearts full-back, determined to make an even bigger name for himself this season. There's Peter Grant. Galloway beaten in the jump by Bannon. The first free kick, foul by Grant on Berry. And it's very interesting to see that Hearts have opened up with a very adventurous three-man defence. 3 at the back, McLaren, McPherson and Levine. That's allowed Davy Kirkwood to push into the right side of midfield. Here's Levine. Bonner is committed. And despite that collision with Muzovic, makes a very good first save of the match. The calm figure of Tommy Burns picks out Morris on the right. Challenged by McPherson, penalised by referee Douglas Hope. Hearts skipper clearly unhappy, he went in behind Tommy Coyne and was arguing that he played the ball first. He confessed to having a little bit of sympathy with the big defender on that occasion. Dziekanowski waits. Stay plays it in, there's the big striker! Good handling by Smith, but Dziekanowski left his marker. And that's a warning for the Hearts defence, no question about that. Look at this delightfully chipped free kick from McStay. Dziekanowski on his own, and a header well taken by Smith. Levine. Ferguson was played onside by Morris on the near side. Well, there was a break on for Hearts. Ferguson has been able to control that. Well, first blood this afternoon, I think, will be crucial. There's Cahoon. An awkwardly dipping ball from the right. The wind swirling. Bonner happy to collect that. Morris. Levine trying to judge the bounce. Goes down quickly by Paul McStay. Well, that's all but the happier season injury-wise of Craig Levine. Celtic get the throw. That's a fine turn by Dziekanowski. They're taking on the Hearts defence. Delightful play. And disappointment only was the final cross. McStay popping up on the right. And a great effort there by Morris. The cross came from Galloway. But Celtic throwing Chris Morris forward to join the attack at every opportunity. It was Paul McStay who laid it back to Galloway. The whip cross, Morris at the near post, and it just passed the upright. McLaren playing it again, Jackanowski. This is Coyne and now Mackay. John Coyne again. Here's Berry. Good positioning here by Muzamek on the right. And Derek White attempting the pass back on the volley with his weaker foot, the right. Giving a little bit of a scare to the Celtic fans, but Pat Bonner was at his most alert. Muzamek nodding it down towards Ferguson. He's in the clear now, away from Aiken and Morris. Well, the intention there was clear from Ian Ferguson. You have to think, had that been on his right foot, he might have done better. But look at the way he won this from Roy Aiken and Chris Morris. Worked his way to that shooting position, trying the chip shot with his left foot, and it carries too high. To the ball. Well, a bump off the ball there by Kirkwood on Coyne, allowing Hearts to come forward with McLaren, then Coyne. And this is Mackay. Hearts looking better as the game goes on. Aiken did well in defence. Jackanowski. Bolton has gone forward. Running into Ferguson. That's Mackay and Coyne. Good turn by Coyne. So he'll lose a great play by John Coyne, and this is Berry. Morris was in the way. There's Mike Galloway trying to tidy up. So it is to Celtic, but what superb flank play this was from John Coyne. Look at the way he held the ball up, suggested he play it back, then turned beautifully, used his skill and his strength to go forward. A superb ball inside for Neil Berry on the run, and Chris Morris was there to block the shot. Back a yard or two, but Celtic showing plenty of patience. Good play by Bolton, finding a gap inside the Hearts half. Trying to get away from Kirkwood. Well, that was really fine play by Bolton. It was brought that far about because you could see the way he screened the ball as he went forward. He kept the ball on his left side, which meant a tackle by David Kirkwood was almost inevitably going to produce a foul. Roy Aiken is there. Jackanowski and Galloway. Derek White has stayed back this time. And almost an own goal. Well, relief there for Neil Berry. And for the Hearts defence. Henry Smith hoping, I think, that the referee had missed that, but the free kick whipped across, skidding off the head of the defender, and that could so easily have been the opener. And there is a penalty kick. It was Roy Aiken who was fouled as the ball was in mid-air. Muzamek and Aiken have been tangling regularly inside the box. And the attentions of the Yugoslav spotted there by Douglas Hope, the referee, and Celtic have a penalty kick. Oh boy, half an hour on the clock. Muzamek was the culprit. He's offering no argument at all. That's not ensured because of the language barrier. Caught dead to rights by referee Hope, but it's Tommy Coyne with a chance to put Celtic ahead. And a valiant effort by Smith, but it's 1-0 to Celtic. Tommy Coyne the scorer. Oh, what a moment for Tommy Coyne, his first competitive goal for Celtic. Coming from the penalty spot. He took it well, but what a great effort this is from Henry Smith in goal. He dashed right, threw himself to the left, his hand to the ball, but it went in off the post. Spinning off the head of Aiken, right wing in bravely. Bannon did well. There's Berry. Muzamek now on the attack. Bonner comes to meet it, took his eye off the ball for a second. Well, now referee Hope has given a free kick against Coyne. Well, I thought that Pat Bonner had that well under control until he took his eye off the ball to have a look at Coyne for a second, and that was the main reason I thought why he didn't make a clean catch. Nevertheless, he has the free kick. Jackanowski going in behind McLaren, followed by McPherson. Wilton to McStay. Here's White. Galloway helping in its way to Morris. Good running by Morris. And great anticipation by Dave McPherson. Coyne doing some wandering now up front for Hearts. And an excellent tackle there by Roy Aitken. Kept his eye on the ball. Winning it cleanly, and now up for the attack for Celtic. The early ball inside. Magnificent from Celtic and from Tommy Coyne. Roy Aitken celebrates as well he might. He was the creator of all this. 34 minutes on the clock. Tommy Coyne celebrates again. But just look here at the contribution made by Roy Aitken. It started with a tackle on John Coyne on the halfway line. Winning possession there, sprinting forward to take the pass on the right. The slanted ball across the face of the goal. A nightmare for defenders, and Tommy Coyne is there. So 2-0 to Celtic, and what a bust that has been. Hearts will now require to draw all their fighting qualities to get back in this match. It always is the look of a match where the first goal would be very important indeed. Celtic snatched that, now they have a second. And the management team breathing more easily now as Galloway goes forward. Celtic fans jubilant now. Bannon again doing well against Galloway in the air. There's the layoff by Ferguson to Mackay. It's an awkward deflection and excellent goalkeeping by Bonner. Well, that's the kind of effort a goalkeeper dreads. Gary Mackay setting himself for the shot, hitting it firmly. It took an awkward deflection, spinning high in the air, and Bonner reacted quickly. Well, Barry. There's McLaren. So both sets of players, I think, now anxiously awaiting the half-time whistle. They put so much into this opening 45-minute period. On either side looking to give anything away in these closing seconds. There goes the half-time whistle. The first half, a triumph for Tommy Coyne, and something of a disaster for Huzrev Muzimik from Star Belgrade. He was the man who was spotted with that blatant push on Roy Aitken, which gave Celtic the penalty kick on the half hour, taken well by Tommy Coyne, and then a sweeping move down the right by Celtic. Aitken's cross, Coyne's finish, making the half-time scoreline a healthy one for Celtic. At half-time, it's Hearts 0, Celtic 2. Coyne could come to a hat-trick without getting it. Look at the way McStay beat it, Bannon at the byline, pulled this back, a drilled first-time left-foot shot, and what a save it is from Henry Smith. And a bit of a collision there involving Aitken, Grant and Gary Mackay, who was the victim, so it's a free kick to Hearts. Hearts came off second best on all 4 occasions against Celtic in the league last season. They now have to pull back a 2-goal deficit if they're to take something from their opening match. They're going to do that. They'll have to start making an impact up front. There's Ian Ferguson. Towards Berry. Scrambled away by White. Good free kick this, taken by Ian Ferguson into the path of Berry, who caused some consternation at the back for Celtic. Coyne stepping in to rob Ian Ferguson as this Fulton on the break. Here's Paul McStay now with a chance for Celtic. Coyne gets his hat-trick. 54 minutes gone. A superb goal from Celtic, and Tommy Coyne gets his first hat-trick in Celtic colours. Well, a new hero is born for these Celtic fans. It really was superb football again, right from the back from Celtic. It was Steve Fulton who came sprinting forward on the left, played the ball inside. McStay controlled it brilliantly, drove forward through the inside right channel, held it up there for Coyne supporting from behind, and a deadly finish to leave Smith helpless. So 3-0 to Celtic, and surely now the points are safe. Dave McPherson goes forward. Free kick given for the challenge on Ian Ferguson. Well, the task now looks to be beyond Hearts, filling by those 3 Tommy Coyne goals. A lot of the Hearts fans clearly think the same. They're leaving the match already. There are still 35 minutes to go. But the Hearts fans, they're departing, have seen enough. So, set piece for Hearts to exploit with Ian Ferguson, the dead ball expert. John Cahoon is also involved. Berry lays it back. Here's Mackay. Chance for Muzovic. The best chance of the match so far for Hearts, falling to Muzovic. There was an offside flag up, but there certainly was a little bit of a lack of sharpness here. The ball broke for Muzovic. He turned on it to shoot it beyond Bad Bonner and past the far post. A change now being made by Celtic. Dziekanowsk has gone off. He's done enough. On comes Andy Walker. Well, I don't suppose that'll be much consolation for Hearts. Dziekanowsk seems to be carrying a slight injury as he leaves. The point surely now safe, and Andy Walker coming on will be very anxious to make an impact and retain his place in the side. Mackay turning it back on over the minute of Paul McStay. A great chance again for Celtic's fourth. Here's McStay. Inches wide. Paul McStay acknowledging his teammates inside. He tried to do it all by himself, as well he might. But Gary Mackay with an awkward spinning ball in midfield, who turned it back into the path of McStay, driving forward, looking for his first goal of the season, slanting that across Henry Smith, and passed for the goal. And now Hearts make their first change. They're taking off Eamon Bannon, bringing on young Scott Crabbe as the replacement. 21 today he is, his 21st birthday. So this is a day he'll undoubtedly remember. What a fairy tale it would be if he could change the trend of this match. There's Crabbe, his first touch. Now Cahoon. There's Ferguson. Normally so deadly. Wow, what a scramble it was around the box there. John Cahoon in the thick of it, taking the pass from Crabbe. Breaking back, forced across into the gap for Ferguson, who was under immediate pressure. Galloway and Berry going for the ball. For the Hearts. This time it'll be a throw taken by Chris Morris for Celtic. Galloway through the middle. Walker gives chase with McPherson. And Dave McPherson will be relieved about that. He didn't get any real power in the header, and Andy Walker couldn't reach it before it was collected by Smith. There's McPherson. There's a make going up. Then it goes to Ferguson. Turned over by Bonner. Ian Ferguson showing his shooting power once again. Well, it was set up by Muzovic with a head flick on, and there was Ian Ferguson, determined of a shot goal, and that was a test for Pat Bonner. think it is. John Cahoon will take it. Person stayed up. There's McPherson, and this time it's in. Hearts' first goal of the season. Bonner is beaten. The captain, Dave McPherson, leading by example. Well, it's too late, I think, to make any significant difference to the outcome of the match. 5 minutes only remaining. A straightforward goal. The corner kick from John Cahoon. McPherson using his height to get up with that powerful header, and Bonner couldn't keep it out. Coyne helping it on towards Walker. A hefty challenge there by McPherson. It appeared to come off Walker, but the referee gives the throw to Celtic. The rain falling steadily now as we go into the final minute of the match. Here's Fulton. Now Grant. Tackled heavily by Gary Mackay. Hearts coming forward once more. Here's Mudimic chasing through the middle. And down he goes in a tangle of legs with Roy Aitken. The Hearts players are incensed that no penalty's been given. And indeed there's going to be trouble for Neil Berry. Mudimic is on the ground. And Neil Berry's protest will result in a booking. Hearts fans also very angry indeed about that. Well, as the ball was played through, Mudimic was the major threat, racing through the inside right position. Aitken coming across, the two players colliding heavily. The referee taking the view that was accidental. That's right, for Fulton. 2 minutes of stoppage time in this second half. There's McPherson. Cahoon's header brings the match to an end. Rather a sound note with tempers rising and players getting into trouble. It all became a little bit messy towards the end, but Tommy Coyne, the hero of the hour for Celtic, with a hat-trick, a penalty kick and a fine goal from close in the first half. Then an excellent shot from just inside the box in the second half. Coyne takes a salute of the Celtic fans. It's a comfortable win in the end. Celtic win the 2 points. It's Hearts 1, Celtic 3.
Tommy, could you believe you'd get a hat-trick in your first game of the season?
I was always hopeful of getting a goal in the first game. You're always looking forward to getting a good start, but to get a hat-trick, it's fantastic.
The first goal was a bit of a nervous one for you too, the penalty kick. Was that a big ordeal for you?
It came at a good time for us. I think it was about halfway through the first half, and shooting into the Celtic end, as it were, I think that helped me. But the goalkeeper got a hand to it, but luckily it went over the line.
How do you feel about that and the difference of scoring against not scoring for the rest of your performance? Did it give you the boost that you were looking for?
Oh yes, when you score, I think, well, especially when you score 3 goals, you could run all day, and you just hope the game would never end, really, when you've scored a few goals.
Were you conscious of a crowd reaction?
Not really, no. As long as we got off a good start and got a victory, I've been quite pleased with that, but to score the goals, as I say, is more than...
Now, the 2 goals from open play were quite memorable. How do you recall the one that, the second goal, for instance?
The second goal, I think there was a move up the right wing, and somebody, Mike Galloway, I think, released Roy Aitken, and he got to the byline, played a near post cross, and I just got past the front post and side-footed it in.
And how about the third one? You supported Paul McStay for that one, I recall.
Yeah, well, actually I knocked the ball from somebody's toe edge of our box, and we broke away. Paul made a great run, and he broke into the box for a shot, and just as he was about to be closed down, I asked him to backheel the ball to me, and I just side-footed that home as well.
Now, you'll be aware, of course, of the new signing that Celtic have made, which puts even more pressure in front places. You feel this hat-trick will make a big difference to your own future of the club?
Well, it's great to get a few goals. I mean, to repay the manager's faith he's had in me when signing me, and I think when you sign new players, it gives you that bit more boost to do well and be in the team.
Billy, a 3-1 victory, comprehensively won. Was that beyond your wildest dreams?
No, we wanted a victory, Jock. We wanted to play well, which was more important. I think we achieved both things because we did play well in the games. The third goal in particular was a marvellously worked goal right from our own goal area, culminating with Tommy Coyne slotting away a hat-trick. So, apart from Tommy scoring, and apart from the move, the pattern of the play was good for us. They came into the game at different times. In fact, we had to work hard, not so much in the earliest part of the game, but just after that we had to work hard. and I think that's what makes it more satisfying.
You had your new men, of course, on show, Jackanowski, who seemed to do very well. Are you pleased with his first performance?
Yes, it's going to be difficult for him because he's a target, he's a front player, but he's got so much skill and he's got so much going for him that he's going to be a big player. Obviously, I'm delighted for Tommy Coyne because he's come in and he's scored, and that takes pressure off the front players just that little bit. I've got Andy Walker to bring on, or indeed to compete for places, so it's not a bad position to be in.
So very happy Billy McNeill. Not quite so happy though with the new Celtic centre-half Paul Elliott, who had to watch his first match from the stand at Tynecastle. Well, Paul, welcome to the Scott Sports studio. What was your first impression? First of all, before we go into that, what about your fitness? There are rumours, of course, about you may be a crock. Is that fair?
Obviously, over the last few days, there's been certain speculation about other issues, which, as far as I'm concerned, there's no grounds to make those points. I had a stomach virus, which, of course, you know, I haven't been well for the last week or so. And, you know, obviously I like to put on record, just to terminate all those rumours, that there isn't a problem with my knee. When I signed for Celtic, I went for very serious, stringent medical tests. They had all the medical history relating to my previous illnesses, injuries, etc., and which the medical people at Celtic were extremely happy with. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'd like to terminate all situations by saying there isn't a problem with the knee. I'm recovering well, I'm feeling good, and I hope to be in action in the immediate future.
Well, that's clear enough, Paul. Now tell us, what were your impressions of the Scottish game from the match yesterday?
Well, obviously I was a bit sad I couldn't participate, but I think it was an outstanding performance by Celtic. We played very well. I'm sure the manager, all the supporters, naturally the playing staff were delighted, and you know, it's a good start, and I hope we're going to go on to achieve better things.
It certainly wasn't any game for the faint of heart, Paul. Some tough tackling around it. How did you react to that, watching from the stand?
Naturally, I was very surprised because during my time in Italy, there is a lot of contact, but you know, some of the contact I witnessed yesterday was very, very serious, and it highlights the competitive nature of the football here in Scotland. And you know, I'm sure that that's going to be a mighty task. But it's important also that you know, we see Jackie earlier on. We've seen the player there in the corner. I mean, it's important that these players get a lot of good protection from the referees, because there's a lot of outstanding quality there, and it's important that you know, they can go out there and express themselves naturally and not have to worry about the fear of serious tackling.
Well, remember that when you start playing again, Paul.
I hope so.
There were some creative highlights, though, in the match, and notably the two Celtic goals from open play. Some very good players in show here.
I mean, I think this goal was absolutely outstanding. It was a ball that we won from defence, and it was 2 or 3 passes. A great weighted pass there by Mike Galloway, which set Big Ryan, and it was a fantastic ball across the face of the goal. The kind of thing that I feel our manager Billy McNeill and our coach Tommy Craig will get absolute delight from. The second goal was a goal that we broke quickly from defence with young Stevie Fulton down the line. Played a great ball across the middle of the goal to Paul McStay, who backheeled it, and another great finish by Tommy Coyne. Absolutely fantastic goal.
So that was the brighter side of the play. There was the controversy, though, over a couple of penalty incidents. Now, the first one was given to Celtic, and there was a lot of jostling going on in the box. Now, is this a feature of the game, particularly on the continent, you know, the jostling for the high balls?
Yes, I think it's always there, but you've got to be careful, because they're very clever in Italian football, and the referee's always on the boil. And you see certainly that penalty, there was contact there made. I mean, I was under no illusions that it was a penalty. I'm very surprised at the player, in actual fact, because he was nowhere near the ball. The ball had actually gone across the face of the goal, and he pushed Big Ryan in the back. Well,
let's balance it up now. Let's have a look at the one which Hearts certainly thought they should have got late in the match.
Yeah, it was a long ball. You know, I think Roy slightly misjudged it there on the turf. I would say that Hearts certainly had a very serious claim to make a penalty there, and were very unfortunate not to get it.
Over the piece, though, I think it would be agreed Celtic the better side, off to a very good start.
Oh.
When might we see you in action?
Well, I'm hoping to be back in action in the immediate future. As I said, I'm working well with our physiotherapist Brian Scott at the moment, and I'm making good progress.
Against Rangers, perhaps, the Old Firm match?
Oh, why not?
We hope so.
Thank you.
All the best to you, Paul. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. Thank you.
Pleasure.